Good afternoon, guys. Today is May 31st, Memorial Day. I got a few hours to be able to come over and work in the shop a little bit. Hope you guys all had a great Memorial Day weekend. So, after thinking about it, like I said, the next project on this is to address this firewall. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is trim this side down, get it flush, and I am going to take the whole firewall out, the fabbed firewall out, and thin all that stuff back down, the second layer, the stock layer that's behind it. And then when I put it back in, I'm going to put it back flush to here. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that a little bit, and I'm going to get the grinder. It's kind of hard to video while I'm doing that. Don't want to cut a finger off, so I'm going to go start getting some of those tack welds all knocked down. There's quite a few of them. See if we can't get the firewall out, and then I'll pick back up when I get that done. All right, guys. Hey, guys, in case you're wondering, the easiest way to make a straight line when you're cutting something is to hang a plumb bob. I have trouble saying that word, but anyways, plumb bob down from your line that you want on the top, so we can see right here where our line is. So we run it over the top, and then by gravity, because it's got a weighted end on the end of the string on a plumb bob, that shows you a straight line all the way down. So there's no question about it. So now I'm just going to trace that, and then I'm going to cut that piece off that's on the outside, and it'll be lined up flush with that other piece that we're going to attach to. Just figured I'd share that with you really quick. Alrighty then, after probably about an hour and a half later, what a tedious job that was. We got the fabbed firewall out without destroying it. It had tons of tack welds everywhere that was really hard to get in certain places without cutting bars or brake lines or anything else, or the steering shaft. But you can see what I was talking about. They left the entire stock firewall back behind it. Why do you need two firewalls? Not only that, with that brake caliper or brake master cylinder, I don't see how that was ever going to work. So now, all of that is going to be gone. Cut all that out, get the other firewall flush up to there, and we won't have any issues. Then I can go to the back side, and I can stick bolts through the holes and just weld the back side of them. And then to put the master cylinder on, you just slide it on and put the two nuts on and the washers, and you're done. I don't know. Some people, I don't know. I don't know why they did it. They must have had a reason, but it's beyond me. Anyways, yeah. All right, well, next time you see it, all that'll be all cut out, and we'll be ready to put that one back in. Oh, as you can tell, now that I could get to it, it's not exactly perfect or pretty, but that big dent where the distributor would go is all gone now. We got it pounded out and hammered and dollied a little bit, and so that's straightened out. Maybe after we get it back from sandblasting, we might throw a thin sheet of Bondo in there just to make it prettier. And after we get it all put back in and just before paint, maybe we'll clean it up a little bit. But it came out pretty good. It's not too bad. That was quite the dent in it. But yeah, so all right, guys, stay tuned. Okay, kids, it's all gone. Now, you see that? Now when we put that firewall back in, we're going to run flush straight across that, right into the doghouse for the tranny. Flush up against everything. We're going to go in here, and we're going to put some spacers in here. Spacers for the thickness of this, because our firewall is going to be flush up against this section, flat. And then those spacers that keep it from squishing any there. And then we're going to take the bolts through the back side and tack weld them onto the back of this plate. Down, right down in there. So we don't have to try and get in there with a wrench to hold them to put a master cylinder on. They're just welded in there. If you ever strip one, just go in and cut it off and put a new one on. Simple. So yeah, that's going to work out beautiful. We are going to have to go back into here and put a shelf across here. Because like I said, we're moving this back, getting rid of that gap that they had there. So we'll sew that back in with some sheet metal, tack it all in, and then run our firewall flush up through here. Money. Oh, you want to see all the cut out? Yeah, that's all the garbage. It shouldn't have been there in the first place. You can see they beat the crap out of it to put the firewall on to move it back enough. I don't know why they didn't just cut it out. But yeah, some classes you have to have the stock firewall in. Our classes say the firewall can be removed, moved, but you have to keep the stock floor pan. So we've got all the floor pan. We moved the firewall back so that we don't have any issues getting, see, these are the tranny mounts here. Motor mounts are up there. So you're going to be able to get to all your bolts on your bell housing. Your headers are going to have a lot more clearance. It's just way better to do it this way. And I mean, realistically, we didn't go back but maybe 2.5, 3 inches to correct that problem. It was quite a chore to get all that off, but I think in the end it was well worth it. Now it'll be done right. Won't have to worry about it. Don't have any extra weight. We want to be as light as we possibly can so that we can come back and put lead in and get it all down low in the bottom. That's what that frame rail box right there is for, all for lead. We're going to have quite a bit of lead in this car, I think, when we're done to be at weight, but that's where we want it all down low. All right, guys, so next time you see it, the firewall will probably be all back in and everything will be fixed and ready to go. We're getting closer to getting it ready for sandblasting, so stay tuned. All right, guys. Well, we got the center section back in. It's just tacked for now. We'll go back and hit all the seams and get them tacked in there really good. Quite a bit of adjusting for where it goes around the bar right there. I had to really move them in because we went back and you can see the angle of the bar. So we had to keep moving in until we got it to fit just right on both sides, as well as this section here, which is a separate section. I just got it sitting in there because I still got to do all the brake stuff back behind, weld bolts in and stuff like that, and the collars. But as you can see, now that sits right up against there. And we'll come in and we'll throw some welds in through here, seam it all together, solid. Now you look down through there. See, this is just sitting here for now. Once we get this all set in and put back together, it'll be flush up against that plate. And all the rest of the firewall that was in there is gone now. That probably saved us quite a bit of little weight. Yeah, so we still got a little bit more to do on it. We got to trim down the top piece to put it back on. That's where the windshield and the dash attaches to, so that's got to get put back on still yet. Still got to finish out this side. Yeah, so, but I think I'm calling it a night for tonight. Had quite a bit of stuff, got quite a bit of stuff done on it, so yeah, I think we're getting where we need to be. This should be a lot more user-friendly, a lot lighter, more practical. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what they were thinking, why they did it the way they did it, but also we're going to have to build another piece to go in across here. to seal up down by the foot box, which is no big deal. It's much better. Now you can see the rod for the brake is right there. It's going to be a simple bolt-on master cylinder. I don't know how they did it before, but this is how we're doing it. Yep, so awesome, guys. Turned out good. I'm happy with it. We got rid of all that weight. Now when it gets painted, all this can all get sandblasted and painted together. You can see there was no paint behind there before. I also had to cut back the floor a little bit more down through here. And then what that did is made our tunnel a little lower because we're further back and it slopes back at an angle. So as I cut back, that means our tunnel was getting lower. So I had to straighten out that bend over the tunnel there a little bit and then reshape it back in down a little lower. So I'm going to have a little bit of filling to do on stitching where they had it stitched underneath there. No big deal. We'll get her. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Like I said, we're calling it a wrap for this one. Happy Memorial Day, guys.